can't say I've read a FUD article like this on AMC Stock in a very long time, and it really shames me to say some of what is said here is actually correct. So we're going to get into what's correct, what's not, at least in my personal opinion, and what you need to know on AMC Stock right now as an AMC investor. As you know, I hope you know by now, AMC Stock should start to do better just because of liquidity coming into our markets. Now, does that mean anything has changed with AMC? Obviously not. We just got dilution. Hopefully that means we should not get dilution for a while now. Who knows? AMC's not... Okay. The brightest individuals do not run AMC, okay? This latest round of dilution has really changed my tone and sentiment around AMC's management, right? I used to believe Adam Aron had the right intentions at heart, that he was doing what he felt was best for AMC, and to some degree also trying to preserve some value for shareholders. Obviously, I've never agreed fully that he's doing what's best for shareholders. That's obviously not the case. This latest round of dilution has really been kind of like he's just holding your hand on a table and smashing it with a hammer. Just very bad timing. You can't use your hand anymore. You're half disabled, okay? Maybe a bad reference, but that's kind of what this latest round of dilution felt like. Just as any commonsensical person that has a publicly listed company could have realized, the tide was turning, liquidity was coming back into our markets, rate cut expectations are rising. AMC stock was doing well from $6 to $11.50 per share. AMC just reported better than expected earnings, a real blockbuster earnings. The writers actors strike ended 2 hours after the earnings call concluded. What happened? The next morning you woke up to dilution news. Yeah, you really can't make that bad timing up. And then like a week later, stocks were ripping, small caps were doing well. Now, here in this video, that's what we're going to get into, exactly what's going on with AMC stock right now, what I expect to come over the next couple of weeks with AMC. But I first want to get into this article from Investor Place. It says, AMC stock, this dog with fleas just won't die. Should you buy? No. It's been a long time since I've seen a headline to an article like that one. They say AMC Entertainment continues to stave off bankruptcy by selling AMC stock to unsuspecting investors. The company could have a printing press in its basement. Adam Aron is directly responsible for AMC's demise. I agree with that. I solely agree with that. Let's just go ahead and skip down here. Says, is Adam Aron a savior? Investor Place contributor Gary Stern recently discussed. Barrington Research senior research analyst. Okay, that sounds weird. James Goss observations about AMC. Although the analyst doesn't think the share price is about to take off, he rates it market perform, the equivalent of a hold. The analyst points out that AMC's problem isn't the box office, but the debt piled on the company. Goss believes that Adam Aron has done a relatively good job turning around the company. I would wholeheartedly disagree with that statement. If not for the stupidity of retail and institutional investors buying all the stock issued by the company, AMC would most likely be dead and buried already. Wow. Those are what some of us would call fighting words. Now, he's obviously has a point in what he says in this article, although he doesn't do the best job of actually, saying that respectively. Well, Wall Street is not a respectable place a lot of the time. Now, I think there is a point to that. The debt piled company, that's obviously a big problem. The bigger problem for the share price of AMC is the dilution. Now, what I specifically want to see is a commitment from Adam Aron not to dilute shareholders, because the business is doing just fine. They've added money to the bank for the last 2 quarters now. Hold off on the dilution. He says, and let's not forget about the bonehead move to invest $28 million in junior miner Highcroft Mining. in March of 2022. Aaron said it was diversification. While Misery Loves Company, Highcroft did its own 1-for-10 reverse stock split in November. AMC got 23.4 million shares of HYMC stock, plus warrants to buy 23.4 million more at $1.07 a share. AMC paid $1.19 a unit, so the shares are worth $4.47 million, and the 2.3 million warrants, 1-for-10 reverse stock split, have an exercise price of $10.70, nearly 6x the current price. In what universe is that considered smart capital allocation? My grandfather ran famous players in Canada in the 1960s. It's now owned by Cineplex, but was owned by Paramount Pictures at the time. Diversification in those days meant investing in seat companies and other theater-related businesses, including cable, radio, and TV broadcasting and real estate. No mining companies. The kiss of death in the theater business or any business is excessive debt. When Adam Aron joined AMC in January of 2016, it had $2.01 billion in total debt. As of September 30th, it was $9.32 billion. So not only has he increased the share count by 11-fold, he's also boosted total debt by nearly 5-fold. I don't see how he's remotely close to being AMC's savior. Oh my gosh, that's a rough one on Adam Aron. Kind of rough. And even this, I mean, geez, dude, selling AMC short. He says CEO Adam Aron highlighted all of his incredible moves in 2023 to keep the movie theater chain alive and kicking. Unbelievably, it exchanged 12.3 million of its 2026 10% second liens for 1.6 million shares of its stock at a vomit-inducing $8.90 per share. The stock count has increased 55% in 2023. It sucks to say, some of what he says makes a lot of sense, specifically down to blaming the management. AMC's management is the problem. If any of you guys want to sign a petition to throw Adam Aron out and the board, I'll sign it, okay? I will sign it. It's really a tragedy what's been happening. And the last couple of months here, ever since last earnings, really have been unwarranted and unjustified carnage caused by Adam Aron and the AMC board that you know has done what they've done. It's just ridiculous at this point. Now, let's talk about AMC going ahead into the future. And like I said, AMC is, I think, going to do well or okay, just mainly based on liquidity coming back into our markets. If we can get some form of, commitment to not dilute shareholders, that'd be great news. AMC doesn't need to right now. The stock is $6 per share. If they dilute shareholders, the stock's going to $3, right? Nobody wants to see that happen, not even Adam Aron and the board. Good thing Adam Aron does have a lot of money in AMC. He's still done very well based on his diversification efforts in 2022, mainly, some in 2021, but maybe that's a topic for another video. I do expect, we just got dilution. AMC stock could start to do a little bit better here, at least in the short term. Now, option activity that we seen on Friday, well, you had 9 orders totaling $750,000 with a positive order value of 47%. Volume to the call side was 72%. Volume to the put side was 28%. So definitely some call buyers out there. Some people still like AMC. Now, if you take a look at the short position, you're sitting at 8.52% short interest of free float, $141.28 million worth of short positions in AMC, 1.03 days to cover, 21.05 million shares currently sold short, shares out on loan about 10 million, cost to borrow 1.19%. Utilization of 22.3%, a short score of 49.64 out of 100. Cost to borrow max 2.32%, cost to borrow minimum negative 0.2%, cost to borrow average 1.25%. So, not the most encouraging numbers that we're seeing over here. I think these numbers are phony baloney. I think these numbers are way off, and AMC is actually, hundreds of percents sold short. If you believe those numbers are accurate, though, you probably do not want to be in a squeeze trade for AMC because those numbers do not look very squeezable. For next week, you do have 4,000 calls currently currently in the money, 55,000 calls out the money, 15,000 puts in the money, and 22,000 puts that are out of the money. So definitely some option activity for next week. But you know, the next major expiration is going to be January 19th. That's the next big one to be watching for. We already have about 200,000 calls to the call side and about 120,000 or so, 110,000 or so puts to the put side. So definitely expect to see some volatility over the next coming weeks and months. Now, I do believe liquidity will continue to flow into our markets. I think this could cause AMC stock to rally back into the 20s. I think you could see a 3 to 4x from here. Relatively easy. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. I think you need to see some bit of good news. You cannot continue to see bad news, and definitely cannot continue to see this dilution. That would obviously not be great news, but that's not exactly what I'm expecting going from here into the future. But definitely we want to see a commitment from AMC to stop diluting shareholders. Simple as that. Stop diluting shareholders. Let the stock go up, then dilute shareholders. Simple. I mean, this is like not rocket science, right? Maybe I should just be the CEO of AMC. We'll get that ship turned around in no time. No time at all, okay? Just vote me for CEO. That's probably the best move at this point. Now, AMC stock on Friday was down about 1%, up 0.60% in after hours. Almost a break-even day. After 2 days ago, you hit $6.50 per share. AMC stock at $6.69 per share. It's not looking too pretty, even for AMC. And that's not great. Now, as we went over in the last video, you are seeing something interesting happen. So if you're looking at stock twits, a lot of bearish sentiment in the activity for AMC stock, extremely bearish sentiment here, but the actual message volume itself is pretty dang high. You know, which does show there's a lot of people watching AMC, but not a lot of people bullish on AMC. And that's interesting. Ultimately, I don't care who's bullish or bearish on a day-by-day basis. I just want to know that there is activity around AMC stock. The moment activity comes and goes, that's where I come and go. You know, that's where you really want to get out of AMC. As soon as you realize like nobody's talking about AMC, the stock twits is dead. It's not going to be a great time for AMC. Now, AMC's market cap is $1.32 billion, so definitely now on the lower side of things, and you can make the argument that fundamentally speaking, as liquidity comes back into our markets, as it becomes kind of cheaper to refinance some of maybe their higher interest rate debt, that could be a positive catalyst as well for AMC, but we will have to wait and see what ultimately does happen. Now, let's take a look at the stock a little bit more on the technical basis. The RSI is at 38.96, which is kind of normal for AMC these days to be oversold. The stock continues to be oversold. Don't be surprised if you do get a purely oversold bounce at some point over the next coming weeks. The RSI, or the MACD, I should say, the yellow line is above the blue line. A little bit of good news here in the short term, but the stock still just continues to trend lower. So that could obviously be better, but yeah, we're just not there right now. And like I said, the big level to get above is going to be your 50-day moving average, currently at $8.45 per share. If you get above that, that's where you can get back to $10, $11, $12 per share. But $8.45 is going to be a big level of resistance. On the downside, $6.50 per share should be a decent level of support. But if we get some weakness in the markets here, you could definitely fall back to the $5 range. And Adam Aaron, AMC, they've been all too quiet on what's to come next. So hopefully we do get a commitment, again, to not dilute shareholders. Let me know what you guys think about this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.